Good evening and welcome to Sports SZN, your weekly wrap-up of the biggest headlines, key results and standout moments across the world of sport. This week, we break down the latest from the FIFA Club World Cup, a major shake-up in the UFC, and an eventful Austrian Grand Prix in Formula 1. We also take a look at the weekend in darts, boxing, preview the opening of the Wimbledon. All that, plus our regular spotlight feature, the WTF Sport of the Week, and the RAYGUN Moment of the Week, tonight on Sports SZN with LAUNCHPAD McFADDEN. And that is me. Yep, me. We begin our broadcast with some football news. The round of 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup kicked off this past weekend. Chelsea edged past Benfica in dramatic fashion. After dominating the match for 85 minutes and taking the lead, the game was suspended for over 2 hours due to storm delays. Imagine. When play resumed, Benfica found an equalizer, of course, but Chelsea responded with 3 unanswered goals in extra time to seal a commanding 4-1 victory. Take that. Brazilian side Palmeiras edged past fellow Brazilian side Botafogo in an intense 1-0 win on Saturday afternoon. Inter Miami, led by Lionel Messi, endured a humbling defeat as his former club Paris Saint-Germain thrashed them. As his former club Paris Saint-Germain thrashed him 4-0. PSG now advanced to face Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals after the German champions dispatched Flamengo 4-2. Fluminense was the only Brazilian team to go through to the quarterfinals out of the 4 that qualified to the last 16. They shocked Italian side Inter Milan in a dominant 2-0 win, being the first big upset of the tournament. But no, the upsets would not end there though. Man City losing 4-3 to Saudi side Al Hilal. Now to some transfer news. Chelsea continued to be active in the market, as always, confirming the signings of Jamie Gittins and João Pedro, the latter finalizing his move this past Saturday during Chelsea's game, I assume. The Blues are now reportedly targeting defensive reinforcement and potentially a new goalkeeper, pending outgoing transfers. Manchester United, meanwhile, are still pushing for Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo, with the new bid expected this week. United have already parted ways with Victor Lindelof and Christian Eriksen and recently welcomed Matheus Cunha to the squad. Arsenal have confirmed the signings of Martin Zubimendi, Christian Nørgaard and goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. However, the Gunners remain in search of a striker and a winger as they are linked with Eberechi Eze and Hugo Ekitike to add power to the attack. And Newcastle haven't signed anybody because everybody is rejecting them. In motorsport, Lando Norris claimed the victory at the Austrian Grand Prix, leading a dominant McLaren 1-2 with teammate Oscar Pistorius. Did I say Pistorius? PTSD. Teammate Oscar Piastri close behind in second and Charles Leclerc rounding out the podium in third. The race took a dramatic turn on the very first lap when rookie Kimi Antonelli locked up into Max Verstappen, crushing both drivers out of contention. Verstappen, the defending champion, was forced to retire after a collision that ended his race before it began. McLaren's performance was commanding. Norris converted pole into a controlled win, while Piastri pushed through with the tenacity despite a brief lockup on lap 20. In the championship standings, Piastri maintains his lead with 216 points, while Norris closes the gap to 201, now just 15 points shy. Max Verstappen falls to third, trailing with 61 points because he didn't finish the race. Or start. Right? Anyway, a strong statement by McLaren this weekend. While Red Bull and Mercedes faced tough questions, Ferrari chipped in too, with Lewis Hamilton finishing 4th after fending off former teammate George Russell. Sheldon. Does that guy look like Sheldon Cooper? In combat sports, at UFC 317, Ilia Topuria stunned the world with a decisive knockout victory over Charles Oliveira, just 2 minutes and 27 seconds into round 1. The Georgian-Spanish fighter had predicted the first round finish all week and delivered exactly that. With this win, Topuria becomes the first undefeated champion in 2 divisions, continuing his meteoric rise through the UFC ranks. His power, timing, and confidence have made him one of the sport's most dangerous names headed into the second half of the year. In boxing, Deontay Wilder, remember him? He returned to the win column with a 7th-round stoppage of Tyrell Herndon on Friday night. Who? The former WBC heavyweight champion scored multiple knockdowns throughout the bout. While the win was never in doubt, Wilder looked far from sharp, with many questioning whether he's ready for another top-tier opponent. He's not. Now it's time for the Sport Quick Fix, your fast-track recap of global sports, from the pitch to the octagon and everything in between. KSI. We start with golf. Ulrich Potgieter defeated Max Giesemann and Chris Kirk in a playoff to win the Rocket Classic for his first PGA Tour title. Kirk was first to bow out of the 3-man playoff with a bogey on the second extra hole. The 20-year-old South African finally ended things on the 5th hole of sudden death with a birdie. In darts, Luke Humphries has claimed yet another PDC title, defeating Nathan Aspinall 8-6 in a tightly contested final. Aspinall fought back to level the match at 5-all, but Humphries held his nerve, taking the final leg on his own throw to seal the victory. Now over in tennis, the Wimbledon 2025 officially began yesterday, Monday, marking the historical moment for the tournament as it introduces electronic line calling for the first time ever. Carlos Alcaraz, the defending champion, opened a title defense with a 3-2 win over Fabio Fognini, picking up where he left off after last year's stunning final against Novak Djokovic. The young Spaniard remains the strong favorite headed into the second round. Now our WTF Sport of the Week, where we ask, where is the fuss for the sport? Today, in our Where's the Fuss spotlight is Slap Kabaddi. Not to be confused with Dana White's Power Slap. Slap Kabaddi is 2 grown men, shirtless, barefoot, squared up, in a dirt ring exchanging open-handed slaps in a showdown that's equal parts tradition, tension, and raw spectacle. The sport originates from the Punjab region, blending elements of classic Kabaddi with stripped-down hand-to-hand striking. There's no cage, no gloves, no rounds. The goal? Land clean shots, stay upright, and don't get chopped. It may look theatrical, but the precision and mental discipline involved in chopping a chest would make Ric Flair proud. While it remains largely unregulated, Slap Kabaddi has exploded on social media, where clips rack up millions of views for their mix of chaos and competitiveness. It's raw, it's unfiltered, it's Slap Kabaddi. Now for the RAYGUN moment of the week. This is the dumbest, most embarrassing sports moment of the week. And this week, the unfortunate honor goes to the organizers of the FIFA Club World Cup for delivering what can only be described as a logistical circus on a global stage. The Club World Cup was supposed to be FIFA's polished preview of what's to come in 2026, with the United States hosting this edition as a dry run for next Men's World Cup. But instead of a sleek, high-caliber tournament, what we got was a parade of delayed matches, weather chaos, travel issues, and frustrated players and managers. Let's start with the biggest problem: weather delays. Over half a dozen matches have now been stopped, postponed, or delayed due to lightning protocols or unexpected storms. The most talked about incident came during the Chelsea vs Benfica match, where play was halted in the 85th minute due to lightning in the area. Despite no rain and no wind, players were sent to the dressing room, fans were left sitting in confusion, and the game didn't resume for almost 2 hours. And when it did, Chelsea, who had the momentum on their side, suddenly looked like a different team. But that wasn't an isolated incident. Earlier in the tournament, matches involving Club Lyon and Urawa Red Diamonds were also delayed. Several games have been rescheduled last minute, and in multiple cases, warm-ups were interrupted or abandoned altogether. If that wasn't bad enough, even basic logistics fell apart. FC Bayern Munich, one of the biggest clubs in world football, reportedly had trouble just getting to the stadium, thanks to transport mishaps. After Chelsea's game, manager Enzo Maresca didn't hold back. He criticized the organization, saying, "This kind of thing does not happen at the Euros or the World Cup. It's embarrassing. The tournament has had delays in almost every match. If this is the preview of 2026, then we are in trouble." Even former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp chimed in, calling the expanded Club World Cup a pointless tournament and criticizing FIFA for adding more pressure to the players in an already packed football calendar. So, for turning what should have been a global showcase into an organizational disaster. The RAYGUN moment of the week goes squarely to the FIFA and the Club World Cup organizers. When you can't even get the players to the pitch on time, or finish the game without tracking lightning bolts, you don't need a forecast, you need a reset. Maybe Brazil will take us in next year. That's your full weekend wrap-up from Sports SZN. If you found this update useful, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a Monday edition. Well, next week or Monday, not you, anyway. We'll be back next week with more results, more headlines, and more of what matters across the world of sports. Thank you for watching. I'm LAUNCHPAD McFADDEN. See you next week.